song for this next segment, right? 9:17, everybody in New York. Certainly a big city with an even bigger heart. And you're about to meet three women who are doing everything they can to make the city shine just a little bit brighter.
Yes, these women turned their pursuits into a passion for serving people who need it the most. And they are the winners of a $200,000 grant called the David Prize, which is awarded to 5 New Yorkers each year. Joining us this morning are 3 of this year's winners. We have Talia Scott, Christine, DeMaria, and Erika Sasson. Good morning to you, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
And congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are like all 3 superheroes in your own ways, right? Talia, let's start with you because you're looking to diversify the legal field through your Legally Black Fund.
Yes.
What is that, and how do you think that's going to help the market?
Perfect. Thank you so much. So it's a nonprofit working to increase the representation of Black women in law. Many people don't know this, but roughly 2% of attorneys in the U.S. are Black women. And I'm currently a JD MBA at NYU. And when I applied to law school, I spent $7,000 in the process. Had to navigate finding mentors, finding LSAT tutors, and I did it. It was successful, and that's how I landed here now. But I wanted to create an organization that would provide financial support, community, access to information, and work to raise the 2% across the country.
And it started with an Instagram post.
Started with an Instagram post on my personal Instagram.
That's amazing.
A few hundred reach years, and now here we are, 3 years later, and 58 fellows across the country.
That's amazing. It's such important work. I mean, that's power of social media. I always talk about the power of social media, right? Christine, I want to talk about you. You're also currently in law school, right? And you started an organization dedicating to helping sex workers. Tell us a little bit about the organization.
Yeah, so the organization is called Sex Workers in Transition Compassion Home, and it helps sex workers transition into economically sustainable careers.
Wow.
And how did you hear about the David Prize?
I was on the subway and I looked up, I saw an advertisement that said, all you have to do is be a New Yorker with an idea to make New York a better place.
And so what was the process? Was it submission?
Yeah, it was really short. It was just a couple of questions, tell us your idea, and then a few months later, they had you follow up, and I elaborated on my idea a few months after that. So.
That's amazing. And Erika, let me go to you now because you're a former prosecutor, right, who is now focused on restorative justice. So kind of explain to some folks what exactly restorative justice is and what your pitch was for the prize.
So restorative justice shifts the focus in our criminal legal system. We focus very much on just punishing the person who caused the act, but we really skip the question of what does the person who was harmed need to move forward, to heal, and also what are the opportunities for the person who caused some harm to shift their behavior.
Right.
And so for me, I really wanted to change my focus on getting people to really focus on healing, on shifting their course of action in life.
And it's incredible work working with victims' families. What are the outcomes you've witnessed so far?
I find a lot of people who do this work, they feel really stuck. If you've been traumatized, you feel really stuck in the story of that trauma. And sometimes by being able to share the truth, our legal system doesn't really do that. It separates people and says, be quiet, you can remain silent. It doesn't say, hey, you gotta talk about this. And when you talk about it, I find people leave a little bit of that story that's running through their mind. They leave it on the table and then they walk out and they kind of feel lighter. That's a lot of what I get. You feel lighter. You feel more connected. You feel relieved.
And so when you guys walk around New York City right now, right, as the winners, you walk by Times Square, you see this big old billboard with your faces on it. So what's that feel like?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm the first American-born person in my family. My family came from Liberia, and so I got to experience this with some of my family members yesterday and with my new David Prize family, and so it's definitely a dream come true to meet other amazing New Yorkers who are equally as committed, and you have the legal panel up here today, so you have that in common right now.
It just happened to be by chance that you all 3 were in the legal field?
Yes.
Okay.
Our other two, our other 2 winners who aren't here today are doing amazing work in public housing and in harm reduction, and you should meet them too.
Yeah.
You ladies are incredible. Obviously, you've already done so much, but now with this award, what's next, Erika? What's next for you and how you want to continue doing your work in the community?
I want to keep trying to prove that you can do this work with very difficult cases. A lot of times people want to do alternatives only for the easiest things or with things that don't have any high stakes. I'm trying to show that you can do this work for homicides, for only for people who want it and need it, but I want to do it independently, and this independent funding from the David Prize means we don't have to ask the legal system for money or the city for money because they're going to have restrictions. So now we can do it and really follow what the people who are impacted really want and not try to drive outcomes on people's lives. So I really value the independence that this prize is going to give.
Christine, how about you?
The work that I want to do is represent sex workers accurately. I think that that's really important. I want to establish a brick and mortar location where they'll be able to come and be treated with respect and get the services that they really need to transition if they want to.
And Talia?
Well, I'm a product of New York City Public Schools, so I'm hoping to bring some of my Legally Black Fund programming to Black women and women of color in New York City, hoping that they too will dream of becoming an attorney and working to have an impact in the city or elsewhere.
Amazing.
Incredibly strong voices
right?
these ladies have.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep it up, the good work, okay? And we will try to meet those other two because it's so important the work that you're all doing.
Thank
We're going to go by Times Square. We're going to drive by,
I know, and
walk by later.
And see your faces up
Yeah.
there.